Hi friends, welcome back to Lost Without a Plan. If you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to be going over my PlumPaper back to school haul, including a sneak peek at the new neutral layout. So if that sounds like fun, hit the like button and we'll be right back. Okay, before I get into all of the layouts, I want to go through the other things that I picked up, like these back to school sticker packs. I did pick up 2 of these. They're for Violet so that she can use in her new planner. They have school items like half days, days off. There's class party, after school activity. There's some great stickers in here. We don't use bus, but we could just use that for school in general, right? This is the cover that she chose. It has her name in the middle, and she chose Twilight Blooms and Salmon colorway. This is the student planner in elementary level. The cover that she chose is not removable. I did not see it as an option, so we didn't get it that way, but this is the A5 size. It's a 12-month planner with silver metal coil. It starts in August and it goes through July, and the weekly pages start on Monday. So that is how we did it. These are the front pages. They're all pretty much the same as in every one of their planners. Let me just check the size of this for A5. It's about 1.5 inches, maybe a little teeny bit more. And there's a duplicate of that. And then we go into the colorful tabs. She chose colorful. There were the options of the Plum Modern as well, but she likes the bright colors. So here we have August, which is of course back to school month. So the items in this month are mostly back to school related images. It comes with this coloring page on the first section next to the highlights. Then there is the monthly spread, and then we go into the weeks. I'm going to pull this closer to you. We can choose what classes are written there. So we wrote down the 4 classes that she has plus her reading, since she usually has reading homework every night. Each little section is a little over, like almost 2 inches, not quite 2 inches. And then there's the note section at the bottom. There's a changing illustration in the top of every single week, which is kind of fun. And then when the month changes, the color changes, just like in their normal planners. And then here's for October. I am a little surprised by all of the holiday items here. So if you are not someone that celebrates traditional holidays, this might not be the planner that you choose for your children, but I do kind of like the cute little illustrations that are here. January is pretty wintry, whereas December was very Christmassy, and then February is Valentine's. We have March, which is springtime, plus some shamrocks and lucky stuff. April is Easter. It doesn't really show these things on the webpage. May is flowers and outdoorsy stuff. June is beach themed, and July is of course very patriotic in style. And that is it for that. We have the academic section, which has an about me page. It has months, and then it goes into the information that they would need to know, like coins and fractions and addition and subtraction, tables, multiplication, division. Has some grammar stuff. Has a reading log here in the back, and then the normal back stuff like the pocket folder. Now for this A5, I wanted to show you that the stickers really don't fit in here. I mean, they're close, really close to the coil. So I do not recommend using that spot for stickers, but I did get this protective pocket at the back. I think it was like $3 more. And in this pocket, you can slide in your stickers with no problem. So that is good. Plus, if she needs like a note for me or something, she could stick that in the back of that too. So that is the student planner from Plum. And now we have this 7x9 notebook. I did add the budget tab to this one, and it got the disc punch. I have this summer stripes cover, I am surprised that the notebooks come with this front section with like pre-planning. For this one I chose college rule, and as you can see it's a little bit narrower than the ones that are in the elementary planner. I think that they use the wide rule for that. And I'm not certain how many pages are in this, and I'm not going to count because I think that's a waste of both of our times. But if you order it as a disc bound, it comes like this. It comes with the covers and then the pages, and then the tabs are in the back. So you'll have to separate out the tabs and make sure that you place it in the correct spot. So as you can see, I paid a little extra for this budget tab. That's really why I was going on the site, was for this budgeting tab. But I thought if I ordered a notebook instead, I could get another cool cover and some extra pages, right? And it's just a little difficult to work through the pre-setup, but I didn't want to break out my discs and do it for you here. So for the budgeting section, you have a place to keep your accounts, your cash flow, a monthly assessment. On this one you can put in your checking and savings beginning and ending balances, the monthly expenses that you have. The expenses go on to the second page, and then it starts again on the next page. So there is enough here for several months. And then in the back part there's a place for a monthly budget check-in. I'm not sure if I need to move these around, if they were intended to be separated, but then you can keep a tally of your bills here and your debt tracker on the back. And then it has one blank piece of note page. It says notes at the bottom, which is kind of silly because it's part of a notebook, but that's okay. And then we have another pocket folder here. Oops, got a little bent up right there. Okay, so we have another pocket folder, and then on this one I was thinking, since it's disc bound punched, and I would use these in everything now, but I wanted to see how secure these punches are, and they look really sturdy, and I think that they'll do perfectly for my use. So I did get 3 of those. I think that they're $3 each, like I said. And then that's the back cover. So, and I just figure I'll punch this one into my existing planner and have the notes pages and such as well, since I only keep 3 months on my planner at a time. But anyways, that's the notebook with the budget planner, and I am excited to get using it and get back on track. Okay, and now the moment you've all been waiting for, the layout guide. I'm going to be splicing in some computer shots from their website so you can see the new neutral palettes. But let's get started. This says Planner Layout Guide, personalized for you. It's just a workbook. It's having some trouble focusing, so I'm going to throw my washi over here, my washi cutter. It has information about their planners, how to use the workbook, and then it breaks right into the monthly spread. So this is a preview of the monthly layouts. Let's jump over to the website. As you can see, there are, in the neutral section, you can change the color to be black and white on this one. So that is what it looks like. It looks like the neutral tone is like a tan shade, and it's along the top. And then for this is the vertical priorities layout, the one I'm most familiar with. It does have the shaded boxes at the bottom and a place for the 3 boxes and the habit tracker. The size of the columns is 2 inches wide on this layout. It's probably smaller on an A5, similar to the one that we just checked, probably about 1.6. But online, the neutral layout has the boxes in this beige tone, same as the outlines of the top. But you can remove that color and it becomes clear, which is lovely. And then you can also remove the lines, which turns it more into the undated version, which has no lines, that they released a few months ago. But I kind of like the lines, but I do not like the color. I don't know. You'll have to tell me which you like best. I think that all black with lines is a nice little trade-off for the new layouts. But again, this is one of my favorite layouts. I as you can tell on my channel. So next up we have the ME planner. This one has boxes going up the side, and you can of course make them all of the sections that you want. It shows up on both pages, which is nice. As you can see that it's previewed here in the modern colorway. I believe everything in this book is in the modern colorway, but they do have the colorful as well. There are 7 boxes across and 6 boxes down, so you can mix it up if you choose. And then on the online, as you can see, the color only appears in certain spots, and then you can turn off the lines, which is kind of nice, resembles a teacher planner in that style. And you can have that with or without color, and on the color on this one, it shows up on the lines of the grid going across. So next up we have the MAE vertical layout, and this is commonly used like morning, afternoon, evening, or time blocks. And then at the bottom here they've chosen to use dinner, but you can use that for anything. I've seen some people use it for like their rings. On the left side it says groceries and important, but these are just options. And then here is a blank layout in the modern colorway for March. Now when we go online, you can have either tan all the time, or you can take off the tan and make it black and white. But this one also has the option to turn off the lines, which is kind of nice, but it depends. There's so much space here. I feel like some of you might prefer to have lines just for that reason. It'd be kind of nice if you could turn them off in just one section, kind of like they do in the daily planners section, but you'll see that in a little bit. Next up we have the hourly, and this one is really nice. I like the one single color block across the top and the space for priorities down at the bottom. I do think that there are a lot of lines on this one, but it does give you a spot for half-hour timelines. And online you can turn the color only appears on the horizontal lines as it has in the last few. We can turn that off and just make it into black, which is nice. And then this one has the option of removing lines as well, and that removes your half-hour lines, which is super cool because sometimes you need a little more space to write, right guys? So you can choose if you require half-hour marks or regular marks, and this is what it looks like with the color turned back on. Okay, next up we have the vertical columns. This is the one that Christy uses over at Bitly Diddly. There's a spot for a header at the top and a header at the bottom with 3 little dots, and then available in the same colorways. And online, the lines across are the only ones in the neutral layout that have color. This one was upside down, the color was on the bottom one, but you can turn off the color and just make it all neutral black. And then you can also remove the lines, which I don't know, it's a lot of space, so it's up to you if you like using lines or not. It seems like it might be too much space without lines, but it depends on how you use your stickers and stuff, or how you use your planner. But I really like how this layout turns out. The next one is the weekly overview in the horizontal layout, and this is really an interesting layout. It kind of reminds me of how Lauren over at Creating Self-Care Plans did her makeshift do-it-yourself plan. It's really cute. I think that it's very liney for me, so I'm not sure that it would work for myself, but this one is the width of, I have my ruler upside down. The width of this section is 6 inches, so there's like a ½ inch on either side. You could split this up into 3 2-inch sections or 2 3-inch sections if you want to make it a little bit more vertical. In the neutral layout, it has tan bars and shaded boxes. You can turn those off, and then there's also an option here to turn off the lines, which keeps the to-do list, the time section, but it loosens up the space on the right hand page, which is a really nice option as well. And then we have the 2-sided days, which when I read that title I thought of a totally different layout in my head. So I think that other people call 2-sided days something different, but this just reminds me of like the horizontal planner from Erin Condren that has like a little box to the side. I believe that this is very similar to the the horizontal priorities as well. Online you can turn off the color, so the shaded boxes turn white, and then you can also turn off the lines, which might be a little too empty for me, but it's an option. If it works for you, go for it. But this might be a good choice for something like a journaling situation or just like notes if you're a note person. Then we have the notes and days section, which is a work task list, a personal task list, and then a spot for you to write down dates. You can always change the names on the task list and on the top box. And then online it has the neutral boxes and the horizontal lines, but you can drop the color just the same. And then this is what it looks like if you take off the lines. It only takes it off on the dated section, so that's kind of a nice option as well. Then we have the horizontal priorities, which reminds me of that other section, only it has a task list with dots and lines instead of the box on the other, and it has two shaded sections along the top where you can write in the names of your children or like work and school, so you can write down the priorities for those things. And it does include the habit tracker and the boxes along the top, which is nice, and a little bit different from the vertical priorities because that one has 6 along the top and this one has 6 all together on the side. And this is what it looks like with the color boxes, and let's turn off the lines here. And then you can also get it with just keep the color if you don't have lines, which is a nice little, I actually think I like the tan in this style best because it just kind of pops where it needs to pop. Then we have our hourly daily layout, which has the boxes along the top, morning, afternoon, and evening sections. Has a spot for agenda, home to-do list, meal to-do list, checklist, and gratitude. This one has a lot of shaded boxes on it, but it kind of breaks up the pages. So if that's something that you enjoy, lots of little sections, this would be good. Online you can remove those shaded boxes and have just blank white space with lines between at the top, which is really nice. And then you can actually remove the lines as well, and it makes it kind of a little bit less line filled, a little more minimal. It drops one of the lines on the left side and the spots in the middle, as well as the gratitude section. So that's a nice little option. I think I prefer it without the lines and the color on this one as well. Some of them you need a little bit of lines, some of them you need a little less lines. Next up we have the daily layout, and this layout has 2 sets of shaded boxes, the ombre box at the top and the big spot for gratitude. And this is kind of what I'm assuming this tan right here is what I'm assuming they're going to use in the neutral section, this like mustardy yellow, but can't really tell because I haven't seen it yet, but that is the most similar color to their current colorway. You can drop the ombre and the boxes, and then you can also drop the lines. And when you drop the lines, it's not so many lines that disappear, just the ones under the self-care section and the notes at the bottom, which is really nice. You can choose to keep them or lose them, and I'm really liking all of these options here to make the space your own. Now this one is called quad lined. It has 2 of the shadowed boxes at the top and lines at the bottom. I'm not really sure about the Monday through Thursday on one side for this one because in my head I read it across, but I guess if you had left it open on your page, that would be kind of fun. Online you can drop the shadowed boxes, and then you can also drop the lines, but as you can see, the book included quad blank, so that's how it looks in printed form with the colored boxes. And then we will go back online to show how they do the neutral version. I like that. And now for the colorless, lineless version, which is pretty open to whatever you want to do with it. I believe this is the last one. It is our full week grid, and this one is kind of like what I assume the teacher layout would be. It has top 3 on the left, across the top. You can put your sections. This one also has 7 sections across and 7 sections down, so you can always white that section out and put what you want to be on the left side. Works more for your layout. I think I've seen several people do that with the teacher layout before. And then online, this, as you can see, this top bar is the darkest line, but the lines across are also in color. So online, that's what it appears here without the thick top border line that appears in the regular one. And then we can drop the color completely. And then we have the option here to drop the lines, and it drops it from all of the sections. So if you tend to not like to write straight across or write a little bigger than the lines, these ones are more of like the narrow college ruled line setup, so that is something to think about. And then they have some suggestions for customization, ideas for how you can name each section, like 2-minute tasks, 5-minute tasks, home to-dos, self-care, prayer, workout, class prep, and any other things that you could think of. And then there's some notes here for you to take hand of. They have additional planner layouts in teacher and student, which I just showed you, and the financial planning one is similar to the budget book that I showed you as well. And then there's the goal setting, which is just another style of page that you get on your highlights. So I hope that this was helpful for you to decide on which PlumPaper layout is best for you. I'd love to hear what you think of the neutral layouts and the styles that they came out with. Let me know which style is your favorite. As you know, I'm a big fan of PlumPaper and all of its customization options. The new neutral layouts are super cool, and I am very excited for all of the changes that they've made. I hope you have the best rest of your day. Thank you so much for planning with me today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, and I'll catch you next time.